What up, everybody? It's a Toy Kind of Mood at Night, episode 13. And I got two guests tonight. I don't know how many Toy Kind of Mood at Nights I've had more than one guest, but one of my favorite guests of all time on the show. I got to bring him in. Very special dude. And congratulations, Bobby Behar, on your victory tonight on college football Saturday night.
Yes, thank you, my good sir. Thank you. That game had me in suspense until that final penalty by Bama. Love it. Oh, God, so good. My goddaughter actually, her and her friends jumped in the fountain in front of the tower. So good for her. Love it.
Awesome. Nothing I would rather have than a happy guest. A happy guest. And after what Marvel announced, I think we have another happy guest joining us live very late on Saturday night, live from New York. It's Saturday night. And I got Articulated Comic Book Art's very own Boog. What's happening, my dude?
What's going on, fellas? What's up? I didn't realize Bobby was watching a college football game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just watching a college football game too.
Which one were you watching?
South Carolina and who the hell were they playing? Well, my nephew plays for South Carolina, but they were playing Furman, South Carolina and Furman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're wrapping up right now. It should be about to be over, but yeah, they had a good game.
Oh, so I can't tell you that you were watching the wrong game then, because that's awesome. How they doing?
Yeah, they did good. They're gonna go on and win this. They up by like 4 touchdowns right now. So
there you go.
Good game. My nephew had quite a few receptions. No touchdown this game, but he had at least 7 or 8 receptions. So
nice.
But we cannot stay here and talk football because we'll have no audience. We've done that before. That before, and it was a Super Bowl. But I'm glad football is back. And I mean, I had to call the episode New York Giant for many reasons. But man, Boog, it's finally great to have you on. We had such a good time at Comic-Con. And again, thanks for the final dinner. We had some drinks at the coin op place. Thanks to Fabio making that connect and connecting us all, and it was such a good time. But how you doing, man? It's been like a couple months now. I guess I would say about 6 weeks since Comic-Con. So 6 or 7 weeks. So how you been lately?
I've been good, man. I felt like we had a nice little lull after San Diego Comic-Con, where we kind of all got to get our shit together a little bit, I guess. But yeah, it looks like things are ramping back up right now. So yeah, just shuffling the life of a collector, shuffling things around, moving things around, trying to add to the collection at the same time where you're getting rid of stuff. You know the game.
Word. And we'll bookend the show asking you about PulseCon because that's the next biggest thing, but we'll save that for last. We have a ginormous thing to attend to, but before that, we'll say hello to some folks. And first in line, DJ Fabash, sweep the leg. Yeah, so those clips, we'll show them again for the late coming. But I don't know if you heard, but my dude Gary up in Taiwan whooped a scalper's behind the other day and made a video about it. So I had to include those videos. So shout out to Chaz the Guru, always on point. We got Dave Speck in the house. Oh, hi. And if you haven't seen it yet, we have 1-minute clips now. I know we do like 3-hour podcasts, or hopefully tonight, not too late because we're going late tonight, but we have a 1-minute clip, quick bites, thanks to David Speck. Go check it out. He compares the two McFarlane Batmobiles, and it's an amazing professional shot video. It's real cool. Gets the thumbs up from Bobby. So go check that out. Black Genghis in the house. KJ Johnson, what's up? Yeah, we couldn't do it earlier because of Bobby.
Sorry, that's on me, KJ.
And yeah, we got 2 late ones, and I feel bad for both of my guests. It's like hip hop week. We had Apathy And now we have Boog, who's known for some flows as well. And both are residing in Connecticut and New York, and they're spending a lot of late nights with us. So we had some awesome guests this week. So really appreciate that. Jason S agrees, past his bedtime. David R in the house. What's up? Hey, I really appreciate all you guys tuning in very late. But let's get to business, man. We're here. We've obviously brought on one of the great voices on YouTube for Marvel and Marvel Legends, and Bobby Behar and Boog. Both of you guys are Marvel experts, but yeah, let's check it out. So first of all, we had these little teasers and everything, but I'll ask Boog first. You know, you had that suggestion video, which was, you know, I said, now they're shilling for you, dude. But did you know right from this tease that, you know, the missing link was going to be Giant Man?
Yeah, pretty much from the start. You know, I started going back and checking out some of the one interview in particular that I had with the brand team, and then just going back and just kind of piecing things together. Dwight had that post not too long ago with all of those big figures, but yeah, when I saw this, I'm like, you know, who's missing from here? We don't have Wasp, we don't have Giant Man. Absolutely, we're going to be getting a Giant Man at some point. I wasn't sure how they were going to roll it out though, if it was for sure going to be the HasLab or what was going on just yet. But yeah, I was pretty much aware that we were going to see Giant Man very soon after this pick. And shout out to Matthew Cohen, aka at Shooting the Galaxy. He's the one that does all of these shots too. So definitely a long time ACBA Facebook group member and somebody who's been doing this thing with Star Wars stuff for a long time before coming on to shoot a bunch of this Marvel stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, it's great to see Matt's work across, what is it, classified, Black Series. I mean, even Indiana Jones, I think he's killing it
Yeah,
across the board.
for sure.
Yeah, and just to answer this question, man, I got it right here. Open it. It is, I mean, we'll just talk about it now since we got Black Widow on the picture. And look, we all got Black Widow, and I'm sure Boog, if you were home and had your webcam, you'd be showing
That's right.
you're showing Natasha as well. But Bobby, you have it in hand. Talk to me about this Black Widow and how you're feeling, and as far as overall figures for what Marvel Legends has done for the year. I mean, how does it stand?
I was worried I was gonna have like nothing but G.I. Joes in my top 10 for the year, and this Black Widow is an easy top 5. Here's the thing: I have the Black Widow based off the Adi Granov cover, and it's a good Black Widow. It really is. But I feel Marvel has really started like kind of like going above and beyond with these Avengers. I won't lie, because I mean this is like I'm not gonna move my computer, but like she can pose. You know, she didn't skip leg day. Let's put it that way. She can pose in this like crouched position. It's a fantastic figure. Now granted, the price point I think is like $27.99, almost like after tax is $30. But it's a G.I. Joe figure for what you get. The 3 head sculpts, all like the widow stings, the guns, the smokes, everything. They pulled no punches, and I absolutely like love this. And then I got her when I got my Hawkeye, and right here, I'll pull him out again. He's like this Hawkeye is absolutely just fantastic, and I love Hawkeye because I do archery, so I love Hawkeye. And for the longest time, this MCU was my Hawkeye, but this one is so freaking good, and like the soft goods, and I mean it's just, and then you just you put them together, and it's Clint and Natasha. It's fantastic, and it's just I feel Marvel has been, maybe the guys listen, but maybe the powers that be above them are finally hearing like what we want. So yeah, like he was like $48, but 48 with the Sky Cycle, and like it was a lot. It was really good. I can't complain about any of the Marvel Legends lately.
Oh, and check this out.
Agreed.
I haven't tried it yet, even though I should, because I do have these. But you can use the Natasha heads on the Valkyries that just came out. So it's
I
real good.
saw I saw some I forget whose picture it was, but I saw some people put in that the Black Widow head on CoverGirl, and that looks really good.
That actually makes even more sense because
Huh.
yeah, could easily, since it's not the movie likeness, you could definitely use it for CoverGirl as well. I like that. And speaking of G.I. Joe, I know most of our audience loves G.I. Joe. We will talk with Boog later. We got to address the Giant Man, but we will talk Joes.
Yes.
So stick around if you're not collecting Marvel. Hang out with us. Let's see what else we got going on here. So we got the villains.
Yeah. Oh, spec 100%. When that Hulk goes on clearance, I'm snagging him. 100%. If that Hulk goes on clearance, the Hulk,
the Gray Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that stuff, and I've got Hawkeye, and I was just sitting there admiring yours, but I haven't even opened my Hawkeye yet. I do want to get two because I want two Sky Cycles. I want to kind of use one ultimately with the inevitable release of a Dark Hawkeye too.
Nice call right there. Nice call. Yeah, it's too bad. Like like I said, Boog, if you were home, we would just have you open up all your fingers while we just give your. That's why. Yeah, that's why the other day when I had Apathy on, we just talked about all that stuff I got in, and I spent the whole day just opening it and posing it. And I was like, it gives me a reason to open my toys sometimes. It's hard to get motivated as much as we love this stuff. So. All right, moving on. We had this crazy battle. Do you want to take us through these stills real quick, Boog?
Sure, let's do it. So so this was 3 of 7, I believe. And by the time we got this one, I knew it. I said, who's gonna come in and save the day here? We definitely have somebody big. It was a lot of speculation at this point. I know people were still kind of hoping and praying that it would be a Quinjet or something like that, which just wouldn't make sense after what happened with the EOV. I don't think they would go vehicle again. It was, it made more sense for them to go with stick to the big figure formula to ensure that this one would actually get funded. But yeah, we got the most recent release of Ultron here. I think this was in what wave was that?
Villains Wave, I believe.
Which one?
The Villains Wave, I believe.
No, there was another one that they just put out. I think this was the most recent one that they put out, if I'm not mistaken. But there was one in the Villains Wave too, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. This was a separate release.
This was in the wave that had
it says Ant-Man wave.
Yes. It was the Cassie Lang Build-A-Figure wave. That's what it was.
Okay.
So yeah, they re-released them with a slightly different kind of finish. But yeah, we got Ultron again, like Bobby mentioned, everything that Legends has been putting out in terms of Avengers over the past year or so has just been stellar. It's just been on point. It's great to see all of these things together, kind of like working in tandem, especially in these type of setup marketing photos and stuff,
Hey, Boog. Quick question. Do you think, so obviously after the Engine of Vengeance disaster like that, I know Hasbro or Marvel Legends at least, kind of like, all right, let's go back to the drawing board and do something that will clear Giant Man. All right. Do you think the next HasLab they'll try for either the Quinjet or the Blackbird? Do you think they'll go back to vehicle?
I don't think so, man. I think it's going to be a while before we see another vehicle from Marvel Legends. I think that they strayed away from what they were going to do from the beginning by doing the EOV. I don't think that was something that was even thought about from the beginning. I think they're trying to do all of the really high priced on the secondary market original Toy Biz Build-A-Figures over. The Sentinel, we got that. Galactus, we got that. Now we just got Giant Man. You know, the other big one that it was really hard to complete that's really high on the secondary right now is Fing Fang Foom. So, you know, I don't know that they would go for that next though, again, because that seems super ambitious and that might be like
A deep
huge.
cut.
Yeah, you know,
A
but
deeper cut. You know, it's not a deep cut to Marvel fans, but for, you know, the general public, the general buying public of Fin Fang Foom is. And Punisher, they don't even have Punisher in the comics right now. It's some other dude. So I don't see anything related to Frank Castle getting done anytime in this lifetime.
Yeah.
especially because they started scaling back with anything with the Punisher period, like in terms of, you know, after the whole thing with the logo and some people like co-opting the logo and stuff like that, they kind of been off of Punisher. So
Yeah, as soon as they did that, I went on a spree on eBay and I was like, if I buy it now, I'm only gonna pay like $10 more in retail
Yeah.
because that stuff now that stuff's probably double. I mean, I don't know, but I went and got like the carded one and the Walgreens one and all the ones I missed. All right, so we had that, and obviously they revealed right away in their opening video,
Yeah.
which
Do you
will
want
take
to
you
play the
through.
video, Travis?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just play the damn video because we have a lot of GI Joe people are like, "What are you guys talking about?" All right, yay! I like that was a cool video.
And just so you know, it's at 3,800, so it's already at 38% completed or backed.
Yep. So over a third of the way. I don't think they're gonna have any trouble. You know, getting to 10,000. That's absolutely gonna happen. I don't think they'll have any trouble getting to 14K either. But you know, I mentioned this immediately that I do think that they played it very, very safe. Probably a
Very
little
safe.
too safe for my liking, but you know, they almost ensure that it's going to get funded though.
Yeah.
Yep. So my question is to both of you. We'll go with you, Bobby, first. Right away, we knew it was coming. It was the worst kept secret. All of Marvel Legends reveals are pretty much worst kept secrets. They all get leaked or whatever. But they kind of leak themselves. But what did you first think when you saw the video or the fan stream?
Yeah. The first thing I thought was
seconds when they first showed Giant Man. What did you think?
Oh shit. Okay. Because and here's the thing, like I wanted to back the Sentinel, I couldn't. I wanted to back Galactus, I couldn't. I've always liked I've always loved the Avengers. They're my second favorite team after the X-Men. And this was something that is sorely needed. I'm not what you can't make this a Build-A-Figure because they made it too big to be a Build-A-Figure.
The pieces would be ridiculous. It would take up just so much space.
Exactly, would be ridiculous. I think it's a figure that needed to be done, needed to be resculpted, and needed to be remade. But I like you and I talked about this yesterday when I was dog walking, and it's basically what Boog said. They did play it safe. they played it very safe, and you know, I'll get into what I think should have been done. However, I did reply to TikTok content creator Jiu-Jitsu Wolverine, because he was bashing. I go, for 200, like, you know, anything more, it would have upped the price. And then he was like, yeah, I just don't like Avengers. That's fair. That's fair. But if you wanted anything else, like we talked about, the price would have, like, we dude, you and I made this figure from a $200 to a $300 figure. We go, oh, they could have added this, this, and this. But it ups the value.
100%. Yeah.
So, go ahead, Boog.
Yeah, I agree. If we would have, what I was saying from the beginning was that I think that they could have gone all out. You know, obviously Giant Man was going to be the main offering, but I figured, kind of within the theme of Giant Man kind of growing and shrinking, that they would just have smaller versions, exactly, of Giant Man, Hank Pym, in different costumes as the tiers. That would have made a ton of sense. Like, you know, the next tier down could have been, or up, however you want to look at it, could have been him in his old school Goliath costume. They could have done either regular Hank Pym in the Goliath costume, or Bill Forster, you know, all the way down to him in his yellow jacket uniform, and maybe a tiny Ant-Man and Wasp at some point, you know, as part of the tiers. That would have been all out, but I think they were afraid and they wanted to play it safe, and they didn't want people to complain that some of those, you know, highly sought after costumes for him were behind a paywall and this and that. And so they just, you know, kept it very, very basic and put a lot of time and energy and into the detail and the sculpting, the paint work, the way the gloves look here, the articulation. I think they did a really, really good job of producing uh, a much better version of the old Toy Biz figure. And you know, I'm on record saying that I think that the Toy Biz Giant Man is probably one of the best Builder figures of all time through any line, not just Marvel Legends, you know, through any line. And when you see this guy next to that Toy Biz version, it's like, wow, like this looks very good, and it's a lot bigger as well too.
Now I will argue, Bug, that for me the best Builder figure is still the Sentinel. Did I get back?
Okay.
That's the one I really want to put together, and I love it.
And so in terms of what you got with the Sentinel, like the quality of the plastic and those ratcheted joints and all of that, it still holds up as a quality figure. Some Giant Mans, you know, could be a little wonky these days, especially in terms of the looseness of the legs. Like, you know, if yours is still in pristine condition, then you're pretty lucky in terms of Giant Man. I feel like there's more people that have better quality Sentinels than Giant Man out there.
Yeah, mine still stands pretty much on its own, but yeah, the joints are a little. I mean, that's almost 20 years old now. But I let me ask you this, Boog. Because I was Travis and I were talking, and I feel Marvel could have gotten a little creative with their tiers. They could have it would have been a repaint, but you know, Hasbro repaints all the time. They could have easily repainted the Bruce Banner and given us a Hank Pym in like the scientist outfit. You know, they have stuff in their catalog. I feel they could have given us like this Ant-Man or this Wasp, or you know, just like something along these lines. But I think you're right. I think they played it very conservative on this. They played it kind of close to the vest, and like, all right, we're not gonna go overboard. But if they did this, then like you just said, like if they give us extra tiers, like figures, well then, oh well, you know, this is a $200 figure. Why are you charging us $300 for, like, you know, 3 other figures? Like there is no happiness with these fans. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a rough road for them to get back to this point, in a position to get a win after the complaining and all of the grievance YouTube in the past year
Right.
with the EOV. So I understand. I understand. We were talking about this on our show too, and I was saying that they could have eliminated the tiers altogether with this. They could have just offered everything that they offering as part of the tiers just up front and just put the goal at 15K and just call it a day. It didn't even need to be tiers. This could have just been the full offering with the faceplates and the extra heads
Yeah.
and that. So
Yeah.
I feel like breaking it down into the tiers was another level of safeness that was probably unnecessary. They could have just offered it straight up and just said, "Listen, this is what it is. Go out there and
Yeah.
get it at 15K. Everybody will get one, and it will still get up to 20." So
Yeah, it's almost like if you're not gonna go hard, you go home, and it's almost if you're just gonna have like either a stand, which would have been cool, or like a faceplate, it isn't even worth having a stretch tier now that we're so accustomed to having figures as stretch goals and everything. And of course, there's that complaint that it's locked behind a paywall, but also people clearly want figures as stretch tiers. I mean, look at
mhm,
GI Joe, right? And even Marvel Legends, most people that did back Engine of Vengeance, it was because of some of those figures that they couldn't get. They
Well,
complain it's locked behind the paywall, but it still drives them to the product.
right, but
100%.
even look at Galactus. Look, I mean, we had 3 of his
Francis's or
oh
whatever.
yeah, you know, 3 of his heralds. We had like 3.
Heralds, there you go.
Yeah, we had 2 face sculpts and like 3 heralds. It's like,
Watching too much Ahsoka, guys. Apprentices.
yeah, I don't blame you. But it's one of those things where like, oh, man, it's
Yeah.
here's the thing. I'm not disappointed in it, right? I'm not disappointed. I think it's a beautiful figure. I think for 200, you know, fine. That's fine. But I feel that, like Trav, again, you and I were talking about this yesterday. I feel at maybe like 299 with 3 extra figures, it still would have gotten funded.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's no question though that if they added any figures, then that was gonna up the price to a point where I think they just weren't comfortable putting it out at.
They were scared.
But yeah, 250 with 2 more figures, I think people would have taken it. But what's
Hell
going
yeah.
to happen is that, you know, when this gets ready to release, we're going to get a couple of deluxe releases and a couple of other retro carded Avengers dropping alongside of this thing anyway. So, you know,
Agreed.
it's a way for them to kind of give you a little reprieve on your wallet and break up the purchases over some time, you know, because you're
Yeah.
still going to go in and get those figures and pay that 250 in the end regardless, you know,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a year
exactly.
later basically. So
Exactly. So it's kind of a conundrum because you have the people who might have a little more income or whatever that are willing to pay the 299 but get all kind of goodies with it and make it feel like more, something more special like a
Yeah.
Galactus set or of course with the Dragonfly and his tank. Some of these other ones that were successful, the Sentinel, they come with all these things and then it's like, oh, we're getting a big red guy and that in a couple of plates and that's it, but it is like at such a good cost. I mean, like we said, the Toy Biz one is practically 200. A Mezco after taxes and shipping is 125.
Yeah.
So it's like for 80-90 more dollars with the tax,
And it's
you're
2
getting
feet.
something twice the size.
Yeah,
2
it's
feet
2
tall.
feet tall. Like
Right
when
here,
we
look
were,
at this thing.
yeah,
It's
when
massive.
we were at Comic-Con, and a buddy of mine has Galactus. I'm like, the jealousy and rage I felt when I saw his Galactus. I was like, God damn it.
Oh, Boog, did I tell you the story about when we were in the Marvel panel? Because I don't think we sat together in that, but we're in the Marvel panel. The guy that won the Galactus, I rushed up to him after
Mhm.
and said, "Hey, where are you? Are you driving? Are you flying? Because I'll buy this off you, so you don't have to ship it home." But I did say I'll buy it off you for half because I was like, "Why not?" And the guy thought about it, took my email, but of course ghosted me. And I think he finally
Oh,
wrote back like a week later and was like, "Yeah, I decided to ship it home and keep it." But I was like, "Man, if I scored that for like whatever, $200, I would be the luckiest
I
guy at
hope he didn't use FedEx in the convention center to ship that shit home to himself because he He might as well have just bought the shit straight up if he did that.
Yeah, I made the
He should have
mistake.
just sold it to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
What was
sold
that,
it to you,
Bobby?
right?
I said I made the mistake of selling using the UPS in the convention center. Oof, big mistake.
Big mistake.
Terrible.
Jesus.
Terrible. Terrible. All right, guys, let's fly through the details of Giant Man. Before that, we were talking about the tiers, and we did have one comment. I don't know if he's being facetious. It's Dave Speck, so he could be, but there was a surprise
Facetious.
unannounced third tier in Ant-Man's suppository.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know, you guys.
That's how you really
What's
defeat
with this?
Galactus.
Honestly,
What's with this like
I wouldn't be
surprise?
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah,
if there was an actual third surprise tier at some point. I think they might pull something else out at the very end. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. Just not going to be a suppository though.
Just to maybe reach those face plates and the head sculpts and stuff, right? Let me address a couple comments because I'm behind here, and then we'll move on. At $199, just offer all the items, right? So what Boog said, tiers come off being a con, but say too much, guys will say you're negative, complain about it. But there's a way to, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? So we're all saying the same things, it's just whether you're being emo about it or not. Let's see. Hey, Bobby B, the #1 G.I. Joe classified reviewer in the world. He says, neat figure, but doesn't seem very HasLab-y to me. Bobby, what do you think?
So I would agree in the fact that with God, how do I put this? I feel that HasLab now, when we hear HasLab, is going to be one big thing, and then like multiple figures. Sentinel, Galactus, his tank, a Dragonfly, Engine of Vengeance. Like we get extra figures, and this, like we were saying, it's Marvel Legends playing it safe. You're going, here's the figure, here's the faceplates, not a lot of plastic. At a reasonable, wallet saving price. I do agree that it doesn't feel HasLab because there's not a lot of tiers with it. But it's like I said, it's 2 feet tall. Like it's a big figure. So in that aspect, it is HasLab. It's larger than what you would get at the retail shop.
100%. That is the idea behind HasLab. Regardless if we get a bunch of extra figures with the main release, the idea is that this is something that wouldn't do well, or it would be a huge gamble at retail. So, even if you're not getting a whole bunch of extra stuff on the back end, this wasn't going to be, you're not going to go down the aisle and pick up a big ass Giant Man, and they're not going to risk that at retail and shipping X amount of units, and then some things might not sell, and then shit goes on clearance and this and that. Nah, it's a business, and we talking about a shrewd corporation. They're gonna go in and get the money that they are plotting and planning to get, and they're gonna maximize on the profits. Like it is what it is. Like it's a corporation. It's gonna be like that. So.
But most importantly, if you're on a first date at the crib, you can have this Ant-Man grab ass and get away with it.
It's true.
Look at that.
It wasn't me that.
Look at that. That pose.
This is your son at the crib, basically.
But no, like Jason said, did it really well here, y'all. It's like goes back to Sentinel that didn't have a lot of great tiers, but it was funded instantly because of the base, and like you had I'm blanking on the two. It came with the Tri Omega, I think Sentinel.
It came with the like the human hybrid Sentinels. What do you call them again?
I'm blanking, dude. It's late. I just finished 2 beers, so I'm blanking on it right now. Bastion. There we go.
Bastion, right? You got Bastion, and then you got the 2 sort of human hybrid male and Sentinel, which was not crazy. The Bastion was definitely cool.
Yep.
But that was on. I would like to see Bastion on the Vulcan Buck now, like, or something like that
Same.
now. But
Same.
But yeah.
Right, which is what we got here. This is the Vulcan.
I want that one so badly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't even opened it yet, just because all these other bastards on YouTube reviewed it like way before I got it. So, but man, I am in love. I've always been a fan of the Death of Captain America, Ed Brubaker's story, and
Yes.
to get it 1/12 scale.
Great run.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, anyway, guys, if you haven't seen it, Walmart killed it. I absolutely despise Walmart, especially being a WWE and GI Joe fan. It's headaches. But when it came to Marvel, I mean, they delivered, right, Boog? I mean, look at that. We got
I gotta get that Hulk, man. I've been really living vicariously through everybody else with that Hulk. I've been seeing him showing up in a lot of pictures. I'm gonna pass on the MCU Gladiator Hulk, but
because you have this already in a
yeah,
batch,
I got
right?
the Build-A-Figure. I know this one is updated. He's better painted and some better accessories and what have you. But I definitely got to get that Joe Fix-It for sure.
Yeah, this is. They're both great. They're both outstanding.
And I guess you could swap the heads from the 2-pack Grey Hulk with this guy too, huh?
Oh, nice. The banner one that Bobby was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Look at the size of this freaking Tommy gun.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I think they did a great job, and they're not like essential figures where if you can't get them, it's the end of the world. But and they weren't hard to get. They were up for Walmart exclusives. You'll never see them in the store, but at least online they shipped. I couldn't believe they shipped mint. Like Walmart destroys everything, but they something with Marvel and Walmart, it's working, but it's not working for Joe. It's not working for WWE, Mattel, and Star Wars. It's not either. Yeah, I got a clone Jesse, and the box was messed up too.
Ravaged,
So I mean, I guess I'm lucky even got one. But back to Ant-Man. Let's take to the details. They brought up Dwight brought up about the suspenders that they are fitting underneath the shorts there. They're not exactly like loose like a typical 1/12 scale. You want to talk about that point, Boog?
Yeah, we talked about this too a bit on the show, and in the past with other figures that have this sort of design, like Deadpool or something like that. They don't have the luxury of having that strap kind of wrapped around the pelvic area to kind of hold it in place. And when you articulate those figures in the upper torso, a lot of times that it leaves some like gappage on those, on that feature. And it could get bent out of shape and this and that. But the way they describe this, I'm hoping that won't happen here. Apparently, it's really fixed in there, under the shorts or whatever on the pelvic area or whatever. So hopefully, as you articulating this guy in the abdomen, the torso, it won't there won't be too much give on that strap, because they could have easily just made that a raised kind of sculpted piece rather than a totally separate piece. I don't know why they went for that, but yeah, I'm a little concerned about that. And also, somebody else pointed out that he doesn't have a boot swivel, and I would have liked that too. The old Toy Biz ones got all the articulation.
Right, but 91 points, and then like 20 something points in the hands. I mean, and we'll go through those features in a bit. But my question, Boog, is: do you have room to pose this in your room or your display? Do you have room to pose him? Because that's going to take up room.
Honestly, this might be another situation where I'll have this and it'll be in the box for quite a while until I get to my next destination and set up the figure room, basically. So
same.
I don't know that I'm going to for this.
Boog, here's the thing. I've got the Hiss thing coming in hopefully this month, right, Trav?
Hopefully. I mean, it's already in the US, so they're just sorting out the distribution right now.
So September it's supposed to be shipping for sure, or is it October?
I'm not sure when it's going to ship, but it already hit the docks or whatever, according to some good sources.
Oh wow, okay.
I don't.
Yeah, but I'm just
I mean, I don't know what the turnaround on that is. Is that a couple months?
I'm just like, where the Where am I gonna put it?
Right.
I don't know. I've got the his tank. I've got the dragonfly. And I've got. I will eventually back this. It's like, all right. A, where do I put it? B, how do I get it past my wife? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I still got the
guest
DC
house.
Collectibles Batwing in the box. Never opened it.
I see a million giant mans and a squatting shit post to fit on shelves. Yep, that's what this one is gonna be.
Yep.
You mentioned the his tank, but what about the Robo Skull? Yeah, so I got that coming in the background. I don't know if you guys can really see, but all right, see all those damn boxes? Those are going away. And
Mm.
thank God that's 5D12s. And that has plenty of room for everything we talked about. I mean, not Giant Man, but he wouldn't go there because that's Joe's. But I will have room for Robo Skull, his tank, and Dragonfly.
Nice.
Thank you, best friend, for letting me move in with you. So into a house. All right, cool. So let's go through the features. I mean, the first thing that really hit me, Bob and Boog, was this face sculpt, just the main one. It
Yeah.
is one of the best face sculpts of all time. I mean, you've been around longer covering Marvel Legends and toys than I have for sure. But I mean, just the fact that what is it like it's like an eyeglass in front of
Yeah.
the eye sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I mean, your thoughts, Bobby. Talk about when you first saw this thing and you saw the face. Did it really pop out at you like it did to me?
So look, it's not a big shock. I have Sideshow. I have Hot Toy figures, and those eyes are really like fantastic on those figures. Looking at this, and Boog, you'll agree with me, this is the most realistic sculpt I think that Marvel has done with their figures.
100%.
This, and because it is bigger, they have more space to work with, such as. But when I saw this, it was one of those, oh shit, like right there. If you look on that right side, like the shorts, they have texture to them. Like the gloves have texture. Everything on this is like, oh shit. This makes it a HasLab, right? Like that detail to everything on here.
Yes.
I don't know any other scientist that is that jacked, but still, I mean, look, like that, it's pulling at the right areas. It's stretching in the right areas. Like the texture. When I saw this, it was like, honestly, here's the thing. When I saw this, like, look at that. That's insane. And Bug, I think you'll agree with me on this. I think they could have easily skipped the head tiers and just gone for figures. Maybe give us a smiling one, sure. That way we can have he's like, oh, I didn't beat my wife today, right? But I think I think like that's just so creepy. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, that's the creepiest thing we've ever done on the show besides Dave Speck on.
Right? I mean, it's up to respect, but like those face swaps, fine, keep the face swap. But I don't think we needed the scroll and the zombie, which I get it. You can put with your zombie figures or your scroll figures. But I feel like they should have just gone with like extra figures. But like, look at the detail in that. It's like, it's amazing. And yes, the build a figure is, it goes up to his crotch. That is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like that's crazy. Like those, like dude, when we were younger, I'm not saying kids, but when younger, like 20, you're welcome, Spec. Like those are huge, massive, and now we're getting this 2-foot like toddler. We're getting a toddler for $200. Let's be real here.
Yep.
It's insane. It's God, that is so goddamn creepy.
That face on the right is like Jack Nicholson, Giant Man or something.
Right? That's what you see in your nightmares. It's like,
oh my God.
That's the Uber driver you don't want to get in with. Let's just be real here. Like, I take you to the airport, and like, no, thank you. I'll get another Uber. But you just keep going.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see how. I mean, we kind of know the mechanism based on how it worked for Galactus in terms of swapping out the lower mouth on Galactus. I'm assuming that this is the same type of deal, just a larger space, But I'm interested to see what it looks like when the whole face is out, and it's just kind of like just a mask. If you could play around with that, or do anything in terms of displays or like little cool things. I'm interested to see if it's you'll see the back of the head in the mask in there or what.
Yeah.
Junior Bob Dobbs.
Jr. Bob Dobbs. Oh man, that's also Dwight did say it's not going to be a spongy face mask to get the faces underneath, but he said it'll still be loose enough to get it in there, something like that.
Okay, it'll be pliable.
Yeah, pliable. And then the other thing he added were that we have ratchet joints for the elbows and knees, just like
okay, all right, that's good.
Which I like.
Yeah, the details that they did here on the hands in terms of really making the hands look like gloved hands and the stitch work and everything on there, I think is phenomenal. And we were debating about this too, whether or not before we actually saw it, if they would go for the articulated fingers or if they would just do swappable hands for this guy. And Rick brought up a good point saying that, with the articulated fingers, it's basically the same as having 4 sets of interchangeable hands. More than that, though.
Yeah, such a good call. Yeah, because you can do all the posing.
You can do everything,
Yeah.
So even flip the bird. It's all good.
Yeah. And someone just won where is it now? Someone just won the creepy award. So here it is. I'm gonna glue the one on the right to the underside of my toilet seat, so it looks at me every time I go to the bathroom.
Oh no.
Creepy award won. All right, congratulations. Wow, you guys are having so much fun. All right, let's move on. It's late. We got a lot to talk about, but let's talk about these. Go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
No, real
what do you
quick,
want to see?
Throw it to me real quick, just because I do want to talk what Boog just talked about with the fingers. So here's my Sentinel, and look, it is a little wonky, just a little bit. Yeah, but there we go. Look at that. You can make him stand. But look at the hands. Like the hands are like these are. What is this? 07 Boog? 06?
I guess Sentinel was the first official Build-A-Figure wave, right?
Yeah. I mean, the fingers aren't as articulated as this, but you can still, like when I lived in Austin, I definitely had him doing, the hook 'em, and every now and then when I was feeling, a little, So I mean, look, the fact that this is still, Tony, I'm good with my fingers. What can I say? Look, this is. I think you needed to have articulated fingers, and not just the
swappable hands, yeah.
Swappable hands, yeah. Because I mean, you can do so much with, with these. It's just it's a lot. You can do a lot with these, and so yeah, I think that these, I think they did the right call on making the fingers pliable and not just swappable hands.
Yeah, I saw somebody else comment too that when they saw the shot of him breaking the Ultron in half and holding the Ultron head in his hand, that kind of like really sold it for them.
Yeah.
In terms of it being better to have the articulated fingers, because again, you could really just get it, do what you really want to do, anything you want to do in terms of him holding different things, grabbing things, yeah. It's going to make for a lot of great displays, a lot of great actual toy photography shots, but also just like even DTOF posing and different things you could do,
For sure, because he's 2 feet, you'll be able to do more on a DTOF setting than Galactus, because Galactus is 32 inches, and the Sentinel was 2.34 or something crazy more than the Ant-Man, 26 and a half, close to 26 and a half. So he'll be a little more durable. I was like, at first I was like, there's no way I have room, and then I was like, oh, 2 feet, and I looked at my shelves, I was like, it might work. The question is, we got here. Oh, not that ain't it. The question is, do we back it now or wait a bit? Well, you always have the people that say, well, if you don't do it now, it defeats the purpose of crowdfunding, because if you wait, then it could fail. And but then, part of you is like, well, they're only giving us, right, the face sculpt which we'll look at right now, the face sculpt for Zombie and Skrull. So it's like, I do kind of want all that since we're not getting a bunch of figures, you
Right,
know?
right,
So it's
right.
kind of like, do you want to wait? But if everybody waits, then it might not happen. So it's kind of like, how do you feel about that dilemma, Boog, when it comes to like waiting or doing it now? Like, do you have any strong feelings when it comes to that stuff?
No, I haven't even backed it yet because I'm still deciding whether or not I want to get one or two. But I'm definitely gonna be on board. And I don't think that you have to measure the success of one of these things by it like fully funded in one day. Like, don't get me wrong, that's phenomenal when that does happen, but
Right.
it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time, and I was talking about this too on the show that there's three big events, and I didn't even know about the event that they had today where they were showing it off. But there's three other big events happening between now and the time that this closes up. So we got Hasbro PulseCon, we have Toy Fair, and we have New York Comic Con. I don't know if it's in that order,
Right.
but those three
Mhm.
things. So it's going to be plenty of opportunities to promote this thing and keep it going and show it off. And I don't see this having a problem funding. And then I
Yeah.
also think at some point they may spring a surprise tier on us too. So
For
Yep.
sure. All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about, I love this. This is really cool. Well, let's talk about Bobby. What do you think of are you going to use much of when you fund this, you're going to fund this, you're going to back it. Are you going to use much of the Zombie and the Skrull? Are you going to have fun with it? You're going to stick with Ant-Man? You really want these stretch goals to happen?
Fuck. All right, so I have Zombie Cap, so I would have to go out and like find Zombie Wanda and Zombie Iron Man loose, and maybe if I can find them cheap, I'll get them. The Skrull I don't care about. But there are others and who do give a shit about that, and that was a great story arc. The whole Secret Invasion. But for me, I'll probably just use it like normal Hank Pym with the Avengers. I feel that people keep looking to the Hiss tank as like, oh, this is what it needs to do. The Hiss tank was an abnormality, right? Like
Right.
fully funded plus tier.
Dragonfly too. Yeah.
Well, remember the Dragonfly took time to get to tier 3.
It did. Mm-hmm.
Right? Like everyone
It's
was
not
like,
as iconic as the Hiss. Yeah.
right. And the Hiss tank, met all tiers in 24 hours. And so everyone's like, oh, well, if you don't do it, they won't. No, they'll make. Look at the Ghost for the TVC. That made all 3 tiers final day. Dragonfly met all 3 tiers final day.
They're late than never. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Like as long as this gets funded, I think we'll get extra tiers. I think people just need to kind of, watch their expectations. Like, stop comparing everything to that freaking Hiss tank. Like, no, this will get funded. Like, Giant Man will get funded. We might get all 3 tiers. We might not. Just everyone take a deep breath.
And another good question for Boog, actually, I've been wanting to ask you this is because we're such big Joe guys on this channel, we're kind of spoiled because they don't have to pay the Disney, Lucasfilm, Marvel luxury tax. And so do you think that has a factor in this Ant-Man thing and in any of these decisions that Marvel Legends makes? Like, how do you feel about that whole thing where Star Wars and Marvel, they have their backs against the wall sometimes?
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. G.I. Joe definitely has some carte blanche and
Transformers
some
has the advantage too.
yeah, and some luxury that Marvel doesn't. And I think that is what kind of handicaps the Marvel team a little bit. They can't really talk about the uh, economics of it all and break down pricing and break down budgets and stuff like that. So we never really get that insight into what's really going on and why some things like Black Widow will come with a ton of accessories and be a great release, and then some things will literally come with nothing.
Like the Spider-Man figures literally come with nothing
Nothing.
sometimes. And like that's what was it? We just covered the Ahsoka, who is Morgan. Morgan comes with nothing, not even a
Nada.
hand sculpt
Nada.
and blast effects. Not like it's sometimes people overlook that when they compare things to GI Joe. It's just obvious that the pricing's higher because they have to pay for the rights.
One second. Chaz mentioned this, begging for a win. And I could be wrong, but I feel Marvel only had one misfire, and that was the engine.
Yeah.
I mean, they were hitting pretty consistent.
Star Wars was begging for the win, and that's why they went full on Ghost, because it was the most requested HasLab there is. Period across the board was the Ghost, and it took them until the last day to get all the stretches done.
Exactly. Like that's why I would agree to disagree with Boog in the fact that I think if they came out with the Quinjet or the Blackbird, I feel that would get back because people want. It'd be like the equivalent of like the Hiss tank. Like you want the Blackbird. We need the Blackbird. Like Boog, don't we can't see your face, but don't lie. If they did the Blackbird, you'd be like,
I mean, I would have to have that in my collection, no question about it. But at what cost? Like literally and figuratively, like what do you think the cost of something like that would be? I mean, that would have to be almost, I don't know, almost 3 times the size of the Dragonfly, at least 2 times the size of the Dragonfly.
I think they have to scale it down. I think they'd have to do like a Dragonfly style Blackbird. You can't have like the giant, like it's not gonna hold 6 figures. But you know what? Here's where I'll go. Jump brands. Look at Super 7's Cat Lair.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mattel's Eternia. Like those got funded because people want those. Now, whether or not everyone can afford a damn near $1,000 playset, that's a different thing. But if they came out with like a $400 Blackbird, I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, $400 for a Blackbird, if it was even close to the proper scale, would be a steal, basically.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't see one of those iconic big vehicles because it's not a bunch of like vehicles in Marvel to begin with. So two big things is a Quinjet and X-Jet, maybe a Punisher van.
You got the Blackbird, you've got the Quinjet, you got Punisher's van, you got Spider-Man's Dune buggy, right? So
fantastic car, the fantastic. That's it.
Those are the 5 main vehicles. Oh, and Ghost Rider's motorcycles. But
right.
That is something where look. Here's the thing. And damn it, but I wish I had been on the show with you when we discussing Engine of Vengeance, because like the car was a huge misfire. If they had done the HasLab with the freaking motorcycles, Blaze and Catch, for like 200, that would have flown off HasLab.
All they had to do was do the same thing that I was mentioning with this Giant Man.
Yep.
Like you said, it could have been the car as the main offering, and then Ghost Rider throughout the years. Catch, Blaze.
That's what I wanted. I would have backed it in seconds with all the bikes and all the
exactly.
That would have popped off. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yep. Instead, they gave us X-Men villains.
Right.
All right, I have a couple more.
They were trying to do. They were trying to give us shit that wasn't gonna that may get Disney in a pickle at retail or whatever, giving us these demonic characters and whatever. I think that's what it was. True. But
that's the thing. You just said it. They have their backs against the wall because they have to answer to so many different corporate heads instead of it's basically like now Lenny brought on John from the old days from Joe, like the Rise of Cobra days. So now like one of his best friends is his boss. So it's like they're just gonna even kill it more now with John Warden there. So it's like the rich get richer over at Hasbro as far as like what they can get away with. But look, guys, we have a few more comments, and then I'll ask you guys a final question about Giant Man, and we'll move on to some Marvel Legends releases and some classified talk, and we'll wrap this up. But let me get to a couple of good questions. I start here. Jason has said, Jason Lapidus had a good comment yesterday that a swappable fist would have been a nice feature because the super articulated hands don't close up well. Do we know that though, Boog?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Oh, do you see the comment?
Oh, Jason had a good comment yesterday that a swappable fist would have been a nice feature because the super articulate hands don't close up well. Yeah, you know what? That's what I was thinking too. When we talked about this on the show, I said, yeah, maybe they could still do the articulated fingers, but the hands still swap out for a completely closed fist. Yeah, I said the same exact thing. Yeah,
Okay.
that would have been nice. That would have actually been really nice just to get a complete, fully closed fist. Because even when you make a fist with Galactus and with the Sentinel, it's good, but it's not as tight as it would
Yeah,
be.
it's like this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We got this one I'll answer. I don't think it needed to be crowdfunded. Price is decent enough to have it retail. No, because not only would it take it doesn't fit on their shelves. First of all,
Right.
Walmart and Target don't want this.
Yeah.
Do you really want the scalpers buying all these and selling them for $400 a piece because they're limited
Or
or something? Like,
buying the shit and then you get it home and it's a fucking blender inside the box or something.
best answer. So that's not going to happen. It could have been a Pulse exclusive like the Boba Fett throne room. I don't know. I think they saw that they could do a HasLab. It's a Band-Aid, but it's a good Band-Aid and it's a classic Band-Aid. And a lot of, I mean, you get the negativity is loud, but I think more positive feedback has been coming from Giant Man than from
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of people that kind of like painted themselves into a corner last year of like, oh, I'm done with Marvel Legends and this and that. And again, making all of these like negative videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now this year they're trying to stay on that, but this is so good, that it's like you really just hating now. Like you being ridiculous. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna I don't know if KJ's still in the chat, but I'm gonna quote something like KJ said. He's right, because we talk about this all the time. It's a lot easier for people to go negative than to actually be positive on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And look, let's be real here. Negativity, sells.
Yeah.
But I feel that if you're gonna be negative, just be negative. You're an asshole. Let's just be real here. Like if you're gonna be like constructive about the criticism, that's different. But like this is actually a badass, well done figure.
Very well done. Very well done.
And if you're gonna be negative about this, you're being a douche to be a douche. That's it.
And a lot of the negative comments come from people like Boog said, they're not even in Marvel Legends anymore. So they're just there to,
right.
There's armchair quarterbacks or whatever. They don't like football, but they're going to bash all the football players.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. So, all right, look, Bobby, you said you prefer the zombie. Boog, what do you think for these two? What do you like better?
I prefer the scroll because
same, yeah.
We have other not that we don't have other zombies, but the zombie stuff that we do have is more from the what if.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish we did have an official comic book Marvel Zombies line or set of characters or whatever the case may be. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to turn down anything that's going to be extra, that's going to, once we all crowdfund this, that's going to be part of my package because we all did the work or whatever. But zombie, I feel like I'll display with a lot more and do stuff with. So I mean not zombie, scroll, excuse me.
Scroll.
But and also the scroll is actually a full-on head sculpt too. So
as you can see there with the attached ears. And also, I mean, we had Secret Invasion. They brought that up on the show. And then look at the figures that we have below. Like that 2-pack of scrolls. Was it a 2-pack or 3-pack? Those were my favorite. It was one of my favorite things when that came out. And then, now I don't even have that other set, and it just sits at some of the Targets I see.
You meant the soldiers. No, those were single releases. I don't have the 2-pack yet. I don't have the 2-pack yet.
Okay, well, the one on the left, that was a multi-pack, the soldiers, Anyway, All right, cool. So we got that. And all right, so I guess the question is, guys, are we backing this? I think Boog last night I watched your show, Articulated Comic Book Art, every Wednesday. Unfortunately, no I'm kidding. We pushed our show back so we don't go against you guys anymore. Every Wednesday and Friday. But you said that you are getting 2. You still stand with that?
Yeah, I think 2 would be good because again, I think I do want to maybe just have one as a scroll permanently, and then I maybe I don't want to keep swapping out the faces and doing that. So maybe 2, or maybe it'll be a situation where I'll get the 2 and just keep one on ice for a while and keep it as some trade bait down the line or something like that.
Wicked smart. Bobby?
I'm gonna get 1. I'll get
There's
1.
nothing wrong with just getting 1.
No,
You're getting 1.
Oh no, I know. I was like, no, I'll probably roll back this. It's like, look, it's one of those things where I've got like all the Avengers. I still need a Hulk. I've got a World War Hulk down there, but he's actually no, my World War Hulk's pretty good size. But I just need a good Hulk and a good Thor, and I've got my Avengers. So yeah.
Yeah. I think Hasbro was banking on that too. I think they want people to possibly buy multiples of this.
Yep.
For one, so they can, I mean, for the main reason, so they can make money, but because I think that they also want to try to recoup a little bit from the failure that was the EOV too.
Yeah.
I think they're thinking that, listen, we'll keep the backer count low, we'll keep the price low.
Yeah.
Hopefully people will double up and we will make some of the money that we could have potentially made on the EOV back with this one project. I think that was all part of the marketing strategy here.
I won't lie, Boog. I really want a George Perez Beast. I really do. I know it probably won't get made because it's a specific, but I would love that, like old school 70s, 80s Hank McCoy from the Avengers.
Yep. I think we'll probably get the Astonishing Beast before Perez.
Agreed.
But yeah, I would like that too.
Yeah.
Cool. So how many? I should say. I likely will. I'm probably likely gonna back this. I mean, look at this shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I hate to say it, but I'm probably one of the wait and sees. I mean, I know it's gonna get backed.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you guys. Book whatever. Like it should get fully funded. Yeah, I heard you say something about 20K yesterday. Still could happen because it's not till almost the week before Halloween.
Mm-hmm. It's only been a little over 24 hours right now.
Yeah.
Right.
More than a third of the way there. So
Yeah.
Right. And I was about to I was contemplating getting out of Marvel Legends because of where I did live. I shared a 2-bedroom apartment. It was hard to display everything, and then the Joes kept getting pumped out. And man, now I got a man cave, thankfully, and so I have 2 displays for Marvel Legends. I got an MCU and a comic one, and I was looking at my MCU display, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to move you guys to the comic one, because if I move the comic one, then I can get Ant-Man, and that'll be a fun project to do. I do like doing that because then it gives you a reason to play with your toys and repose them and put on new heads and hands and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm in, but I'm probably just not going to do it this second. I'm gonna wait and see how it goes. But I have full faith in it. I'm just just gonna chill and see what's up. But I'm there to support. And I think they've had a great year, Marvel Legends, this year, and I thought they had a really solid panel at Comic-Con. It was like a safe I think everything this year is like safe, like, hey, let's do Avengers, let's do X-Men, because that's the stuff that sells, and not get crazy because last year was like up and down like a roller coaster. I mean, would you agree with that, Bug?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Again, this is just them making sure that they maximize on profit. That's really what it all boils down to. They gotta, they've got corporate overlords to answer to. That's really what this boils down to. And that's the big difference between Hasbro and McFarlane. It's just the corporate side of things that kind of screw things up a little bit and kind of anger the fans or whatever. And sometimes these guys, Dwight, Ryan, they just caught in the middle of that. Like, you know what I mean? They just workers, man. They don't they don't really have a say so on any of this shit.
And I had fun. It was great to connect with you and the boys and everything, but man, I had fun connecting with Dwight because I had never met him. We cover Marvel Legends, but we're not like, as much as like you and MCU Collector and everything with the reviews. But I really hit it off with him, and Dan and Ryan are always cool. We interviewed them last year at Comic-Con. Dwight's a real fun guy. He's into wrestling and GI Joe and everything. So we really hit it off. Good dude. But look, I love what they're doing. I hope this funds, and I hope for more success for Marvel Legends down the road. But all right, so how did you guys, out of 5, how would you rate the fan stream and the reveal out of 5 whiskeys, Bobby?
4
out of 5 whiskey.
4.5. 4.5.
4.5 book.
Yeah, I'd give it 4.5 whiskeys for sure.
Yeah,
Bobby, you had more to say.
They were focused, man. They were like super super focused. You could tell they didn't want to fuck this up, man.
Yeah. What Boog's example? What Boog said. Look, they came in. They had a goal. They were on a mission. Like, look, they had that video we showed. That was from theirs. That was a great video. They did a great job with the pictures. Great job having it there. Very, and one, like we always said, like they have such great chemistry. It's fun to watch them. So they really couldn't fuck this up, and they really couldn't, literally and figuratively, because the chemistry is so good that they don't mess up. But also, this is like their big HasLab. This is like their rebound. Like you lose one game. All right. You rebound, you lick your wounds, figure out what happened, what went wrong, and then you come back and you hope you knock it out the park, and they did. So yeah.
Yep, I agree. 4.5. Just because I didn't hit that button right away. I mean, look, it's not GI Joe, but it's gonna happen. It's my first Marvel HasLab, so I didn't at the time. Galactus had no room in the person I was living with. Collected Marvel Legends, but hated Fantastic Four and didn't care about Galactus because otherwise we could have split it. Since this is only 200, I'm not going to ask my best friend I live with to split it with me because then it's $200. If it was $400 with a bunch of stuff, then we'd have a conversation. But $200, I think I can handle, and we'll do it. But 4.5 across the board, tremendous HasLab. We spent an hour and 10 minutes talking about it. But let's go through a little speed round. I want to get Boog's thoughts as well as Bobby's. We haven't covered some of these Marvel Legends, and then we'll get into G.I. Joe and talk about a couple things around New York with toys, and we'll say good night, hopefully around midnight Eastern time, or not midnight, be 1 o'clock actually, right? So what are we at now? We're at we're at midnight. We're at 12:15. So hopefully, thanks so much for staying up late. But we got these, they're repacks. Just quick bites on this. What do you think, Boog?
Yeah. I think this is a great opportunity for somebody who missed out. I feel like Marvel Legends is always trying to draw in new collectors and put out stuff that will pop up at retail that, some kid will be passing, or even some 40-something-year-old will be passing and be like, oh, this is a cool looking Spider-Man. I'll buy this. So I think that's what this is about. This Spider-Man, they updated the paint on the back of the figure to kind of resemble the original artwork or what have you, but they did not update the emblem on the front of the figure. So a future inevitable re-release of this again. This is already the 3rd time that we get in this figure, because we had him as a single release, we had him in a pack with his Amazing Friends, and now this retro carded version. I do think that this is another opportunity for collectors to just have this great figure on a retro card and not open it as well too. So there's that, and then there's Moon Knight here. I think that Moon Knight's emblem on his chest is what is different about this release. Don't
it looks like that. It, right?
Yeah, I think they updated the emblem on his chest, but aside from that, I do believe that it's the same figure that we got sort of recently too. So yeah, these are cool. I will probably pass on both of these because I want to get the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends pack, because I think that's the more cooler kind of Spider-Man look in terms of the deco of that one. But this particular Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man Marvel Legends ever put out. Period.
Nice. Bobby, just a quick bit before we get
I
on.
already have that Spider-Man, so I probably will
I
skip
do
it.
too. Yep.
Unless I find like at Ross like $5, then I'll get it too as on card with the other
Right.
Spider-Man I have. That Moon Knight I am gonna get because I don't have Moon Knight, and so F it, I'll get it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I hate saying it, but it's like if I see these for cheap, then I'll get it. I mean, just it is what it is.
Don't get me wrong. If it pops up for $5, I ain't gonna pass on that.
Yeah.
Nobody in the chat would, and they don't even collect Marvel Legends.
Right.
Exactly.
Do you got another comment, Boog?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right, moving on. Oh, I didn't even know I even put that there. But anyway, there's some articulation of what we just showed you in a box for 5 minutes. But anyway, moving on. Infinity, again, I think Boog, what you just said, they're looking to draw in some new folks. There's nothing wrong with that. And like the Foosh says, Robo, if you don't like it, move along. I think that's pretty clear with the set. I pre-ordered all of them on Amazon because I don't know. I feel like the updates are worth it. I feel it would look nice together, boxed, maybe, or I don't know. I pre-ordered it and I can always cancel. It's Amazon, so I had didn't hurt me one bit to do it. Bobby, how you feeling about these Infinities?
I pre-ordered 6 of them. I didn't get the Iron. I didn't get War Machine, and I didn't get Mach 2, but I did get Cap, Cap, that Black Widow, that Spider-Man, Thor, Bruce, and Iron Man. I mean, like you said, you can always cancel. I will 100% though get that Cap and that Peter Parker. I don't have those.
Right. Boog, quick thought.
I'm not a big MCU Marvel Legends collector, but I will pick up certain things just to kind of like kit bash and like, obviously the draw here is the head sculpts, the new head sculpts for some of these. And at the very least, I will pick up the Bruce Banner figure because it can double as just some person in regular street clothes and stuff too. But yeah, nothing else really will. I don't know. Maybe I'll get Black Widow too for the head sculpt. But other than that, I think I'm good on these. It was a missed opportunity for them to finally give us a Don Cheadle head sculpt too. I don't know what happened there.
Absolutely, that would have won the wave if we had gotten that. But I saw the Banner head sculpt and Black Widow in person at Comic-Con, and they're both really cool. And even though I already have the Black Widow, like just seeing how this new Black Widow is, if we can get an MCU version that's this good. I mean, are these as I could see, it looks like it's reuse, or is it going to be all new, like pinless and everything? I see pins on Spidey, and actually I see a lot of pins there.
I think that they said Widow was pinless though. I'm not 100%
beautiful
sure on that.
But yeah, some of these are still like just repacks, like with the body. You see pins on the Iron Man, right? So it's kind of like a weird wave where they kind of make some adjustments and some they don't. So no, we got let's see. Where's the main where's the next main course Boog from Tony's Figs?
I'm hoping that it will be before Thanksgiving. I'm hoping.
There you go. Dude, me too. Like this is the biggest pain in the neck when you're trying to have Black Widow and Scarlet. You got to do the boil and pop thing, and I just wish I mean, even some of the Joes, like the movie Joes didn't work with the regular Joes. It's just a mess. Head sculpts are on point, except Cap, Chris Evans to be seen. Yeah, I don't know. I saw like one image where it looked nothing like Chris Evans, and I saw another where it did. So I'm kind of confused. Do you have any info on this?
I do not.
Okay, cool. And then I love this comment. It's SAG after a Mark Ruffalo.
Basically.
You got to give him a picket sign. All right, cool. All right, let's move on to this wave. We have shout out to MCU Collector. He's reviewed all these. You've talked about these at Lent too, but just quick thoughts. I'll get Bobby. What do you think? You're a big Disney Plus guy. Did you pick any of these up? Did you pre-order them? How you feeling?
I will get that Goliath on clearance. Other than that, these are all passes for me. Maybe that.
I was really into Kingpin's face sculpt, and then he's like really thin.
Yeah. I wish they would have gone with a different buck for Kingpin. But again, some more opportunities to do some like hit bashing and what have you. I'd get Fury and Krennic. I mean, what's his name? Talos. I get
Oh,
those two
Talos.
because again, you could just kind of kit bash some regular plainclothes folks.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed out something to me about this Nick Fury. I think we will see this beanie again, and maybe we'll see that on a modern Luke Cage at some point.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay, cool. I think overall it's a pretty good wave. I haven't seen this wave in the store yet. I guess it's just shipping from like what your Pulses, your
Probably.
Amazons, but it hasn't hit like Target, Walmart. It's one of those things where you go for milk and you come away with a Nick Fury. It's going to be one of those things for me. That's kind of how Marvel Legends is for me. It's like the second or third most important line I collect, which is good.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm gonna pay 25 to 28 bucks and get them in a rush. But overall, I mean, they're cool.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool. All right. And this is shipping from Pulse. I really love this pack, but it's a little heavily priced, but I got it anyway because I think it's cool. What do you think, Boog?
Yeah, I think this is dope. I think it's a great way for them to be inclusive, give us some additional head sculpts. I saw people making jokes about having black or Latina Nazis, basically. But obviously, you wouldn't use those heads for the Hydra agent.
Yeah, they're for the Shield agents. Yeah.
Use it for the shield, or even for just some plain clothes civilian or whatever the case may be.
They'll look good with like your if we're ever able to get like a version of Grunt, or actually did they do the female steel core? I don't, someone correct me in the chat. The steel core set is one male, one female, or is it
Yes,
two
it's
male?
one
Because
male,
if it's
one
one
female.
Yeah, it's one male, one female. There's also
so
those Valkyries too.
yeah, so there you go. Valkyries, steel core, you get awesome, nice looking, diverse face sculpts. I mean, that's what I love about the Shield Agent pack. I used those to kit bash for a lot of when I was collecting Action Force. I was using those with that. And yeah, that's why I like this for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're playing with toys. You use your own imagination. They don't reflect anyone on the screen or in the pages. You do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think,
Agreed.
Bobby? What do you think, Bobby?
I think they look dope. I pass on them, but they look great. Like the face sculpts look good.
Yeah, are they sold out?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you can go look while I move on to the next slide.
Actually,
All right.
while you are talking, I will look.
I'll put you to work, Bobby. All right, cool. So then, all right, guys, it's Joe time. So my Joe friends have been waiting for a while. And yeah, I've been big time. I talked to Booger, like, we gotta talk about G.I. Joes because I know you do cover it on your channel, but obviously you're known more from Marvel. But did you see this leak from our boy? Actually, our boy was in a bit of a scuffle this week, our boy Gary from Return of the Nerd Toys, and so let's show it to you guys that are just arriving late.
Kicked his ass.
A hero to all is Gary in Taiwan. If you guys haven't heard, one of our friends on the Instagram who sells toys early and at a good price. He went to confront a scalper who was very aggressive with him, and he kicked the guy's behind in front of his old lady, and the cops came. It's an awesome video. Go check out Return of the Nerd Toys, not only on the website, but on the social medias and YouTube, and he's got a video explaining the whole thing, and it's pretty bizarre, but it's a good situation to have. And I guess his stock got cut 70% from his Hasbro supplier, and that is why many of us aren't getting shadow trackers this week, because he was cut down 66% or whatever it was, so he got like 18 instead of whatever it was supposed to be. So yeah, it's pretty bizarre, but you started getting into these Joes, Bobby, and classified line. Are you How are you feeling about our predator-looking shadow tracker here? Is this something you're willing to fight the Walmart scalpers for too?
Am I willing to fight someone for a figure?
You gonna go
No.
beat up a scalper for one of these?
No, I'm not gonna beat up a scalper for one of these. However, it looks dope. It looks dope as hell. That looks. I mean, yeah, specs right. It's fire. That like everything that Classified is putting out is amazing. So yeah. I'll definitely get him. I'm definitely getting Shadow Tracker. I just found a torpedo in the wild last week, and I I picked it up, and I actually like, do you have the money for that? I'm like, I have the money for this. Yes. Fine. So I got my torpedo going against my copperhead and my eel. So yeah, like look, I don't say no to mini Joe figures. I just don't.
Yeah, I got it. Boog, what do you think of this shadow tracker?
Yeah, I think he looks really dope too. I wasn't actually really familiar with this character. So people had to school me, but yeah, this looks dope. It's gonna be make for some really good outdoorsy, jungle, woodsy, you know, great pictures. So yeah, this is definitely a cop for me. What are we seeing here though? Is this homeboy shot?
Yeah, so this is I believe this is the stock that he got.
Gotcha.
Um
Okay.
he's in Taiwan, and yeah, I do want to comment on make a comment on this comment. Melanie says Queenie was the VIP. Yeah, so his Queenie is his wife, and I guess she was giving the guy a piece of his mind as well. So it's just a whole funny scenario. But anytime the word scalper comes up, I laugh. Just the word scalper, and then scalper getting beat up, I laughed for a half hour straight, and that's how long the damn video was. Some people hated the video. I thought it was awesome. Neil Hill says Boog is here. Awesome. Yep. Walmart. It will be a Walmart exclusive, and I believe there's going to be another Walmart collector con to coincide with PulseCon. Is that correct, boys?
I think it's not Walmart, it's Target.
Well, this is going to be a Walmart exclusive, so maybe it's because they just did have a Walmart collector con, but
Yeah.
I supposedly this and homeboy, where do I got? Oh, he's right here. The wolf spider. I got
Oh,
this from
he's
Gary.
gonna be a Walmart exclusive too. Yeah, it's possible because they do the Walmart thing a couple times in a
Yeah.
year, so it's very possible. You're right.
So okay, cool. So yeah, and then we looking at the figure alone. Let's see, we got Zartan, a lot of Zartan reuse. Actually,
Uh-huh.
I should hold this up because look at this vest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that vest, and then look at this vest.
Okay.
Same,
Same stuff.
same, looks the same to me. I mean, and then when you think about Zartan with those skull face masks and stuff, I mean, I don't know, it could be a new mold, the mask, but the one on the right looks like a reuse from Zartan. I don't know. I have to go through a bag and find it, but the body for sure. I mean, and then the headdress. There's some reuse there of Zartan, which is completely fine for me. If this is like
Yeah.
a comic book figure, really, right? Like a
Mhm.
comic, you came out of what, Rise of Cobra, 25th anniversary, whatever you guys can. I wasn't collecting those at the time, but what I know, it's and then like I said, John Warden's there, so we're starting to get some of his goodies in the classified line as well, because he was the head of Joe's back then in the modern era, in the
I
4 inch
see.
era.
You know
So now
what? The only thing
some
that Joe's need really, well, one thing in particular is just more interchangeable hands, man. If they did that, man, it'd be over, man. It'd be over for crowning them as the best Hasbro line. I mean, they're pretty much already the best Hasbro line, but yeah.
point taken, because my favorite figure of the year so far, and I haven't really put him against the new wave that's out, but leading up into this new wave that hasn't really been released yet. Rock and Roll has that awesome, that
Yes,
face sculpt.
yes.
Like, yes, he came with a few hands or a couple of hands, two pairs of hands, and that really separated him, in my opinion, to some of the others that both just have the trigger hands or fists or whatever, you know what I mean? So I agree with you there. That's the one. They come with so many accessories, right, Bobby? And that's what we love about them.
Yeah.
But they don't come with a lot of hands. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, right here. I mean, yeah, this is this rock and roll. Like I think. I mean, look at that.
It's alt. It's
and it adds and granted, it's not. It adds a lot to the character itself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. So that's a great point on Boogs. But yeah, we're liking what we're seeing. That's what you want from. I mean, this thing is complete reuse. That's all it is. Besides the new face sculpt, right? So that's what you want from a Walmart exclusive anyway. So this is new. I feel like this is new.
Mm-hmm.
But then this, Kamakura head sculpt, right? Which I missed in my review, guys. So sorry about that. But yeah, we got the vest is from what scrap iron, right? So and then you got Falcon. I'm sorry, the vest is from Beachhead.
Yeah.
The Falcon backpack, he does come with the shotgun from Falcon, and then the rest is scrap iron. Right. So that's you're getting reused. But look how awesome this is. It's a character inspired by version 3 Beachhead. So we talked about this stuff at length on Wednesday with Apathy, and I loved it. Was a fun episode. It was kind of wacky. We had technical difficulties, but it was a real shit show, and it was fun. And we went over all these figures. But while I'm at it, I got a couple here because Bobby and Boog wanted to highlight some of the ones that we had, and I got some more. Let's see what else we got. Okay, let's talk Trouble Bubble in a minute. Let's talk about this one first, though. Tunnel Rat.
Oh, so good.
So, see if we can get a good. Here we go. Cool.
Wow. Yeah, he looks great. Yeah, he looks great, man.
Good choice, Bobby, because he's from Brooklyn, baby.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking to New Yorker, but you're from Harlem, right?
Yep.
Yep. But anyway, it's all love. It's all love in New York. There you go. You see that flashlight? The rat with the flashlight?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Joe Pro. So the one issue with this dude, and we were talking about the harness with Giant Man.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he had the same capabilities, because until you put that backpack on, his secondaries are going. They're going all over the place. Yes.
I got it.
But yeah, overall, look, I mean, there's even some color on the buckles of the backpack. Satchel.
Wow, he looks great.
He really does.
Yep. Definitely going to be in a lot of people's top 5, top 10. And then the other one that Bobby chose, and you just talked about this on ACBA last night.
Yeah.
This one's shipping, guys. This one's shipping soon.
Yeah, he's shipping from Hasbro Pulse this week.
September 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. The Robert Redford face sculpt. I gave him Grunt's laser rifle, because that's what he has in the cartoon, in the comic or whatever, too. Mm-hmm. So the XMLR rifle. So that doesn't come with him. That comes with Grunt.
Okay.
But people are going to army build Grunt. So you get Grunt. You put
I've seen people army building this dude already too.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, look at the neck, right? You could put any face sculpt on.
Yeah, you could just pop a different head on there and have a snow unit.
And then these snowshoes do fit on the back on those clips that got my damn fingers over. But yeah, there you go. So yep, so they do. Let's see. Here you go. Look at all the detail. These damn snowshoes. These guys do not mess around. They use every expense they're given. They don't take any shortcuts, man.
Snow jobs all around.
Yep, and then just to cap off that snow, you got this, and it's translucent. Let's see if I can get. Sorry, it's a little blurry because it wants me to. We're talking about Giant Man, so it wants to show the Giant Man. Oh, there we go. Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, it's dope, and you can, I'm sure mix and match with that too. So, but yeah, were there any other? Let's talk about some of these Joes first, and then we'll move on to what you guys want to talk about. Trouble Bubble. Unfortunately, I'm in SoCal. I was hoping for a Providence miracle today. Whatever they ship these from, Pennsylvania, whatever. It didn't sometimes it comes in 2 days early, and I could have it on the show. But I'm getting mine probably Monday or Tuesday. We talked about this on a pre-show. Boog, you want 3 of these, right?
Yeah, I'd be happy with three triple bubbles. Although, obviously, when we think about being kids and watching the cartoons, there was hundreds of them flying around. But yeah, I'd be okay with 3.
Yeah, I don't have Cobra Commander's budget discretionary funding.
Right.
But right now it is saying sold out on Hasbro, but I'm pretty sure they'll get back in stock with these.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely down for this though, man. Because you don't have to just use the Televiper. You could put anybody in there that you wanted. Cobra Commander,
exactly.
whatever you want to do. So, interesting that they how they shot this with the Statue of Liberty background and stuff like that, and steel core dudes in the back too.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, your boy. This is also Shooting the Galaxy as well.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. I want to catch up with the chat because I was showing figures and not paying attention. So, look, Zazel, what's up, dude? Thanks so much, man. You guys an awesome channel, Sergeant Slaughter Slaughterhouse, dedicated to the legend Sergeant Slaughter, and he talks about a bunch of other cool stuff. So go check him out, man. Thank you so much for always supporting us. And yeah, guys, if you watching the show tonight, we got Boog, man. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So please like the show. We've had one of the best conversations on that damn HasLab. I know we did. It was so good. So if you're just joining us late, rewind it. Even if you don't collect Marvel, that conversation we had about Giant Man was fantastic. But we're all about Joe's right now. The second Joe fan, you can order Torpedo, Shadow Tracker, and Zartan are Eskimo brothers. Joe fan says, I live in nowhere, so it takes me an hour to get to GameStop. That's a good thing, man. I live near GameStops, and if I go in there, I just want to beat somebody up like Gary. I hate GameStop. You know what I mean? I feel like going nuts like Bruce Wayne in '89. GameStop sucks. Trigger fans aren't supposed to be universal. Trigger hands aren't? No, they are. But what I'm saying is, wait, oh no, they're not supposed to be. Oh, I see.
Aren't supposed to be universal. No, he's asking a question. I mean, they can be, but for a little more expression, a little more, one thing that I say when I review figures and when I talk about figures on my channel is that heads and hands make the figures, especially as a toy photographer. You just want those different gestures, those different expressions. Jazz hands go a long way. Saluting hands, whatever you can get. You want them to be able to do hand signals. If it's a stealth mission and whatever you're doing. So yeah, man, the trigger fingers obviously are the go-to if it's only going to be that, but some more variety would really take Joe's.
I'm with it. Especially like as a team a military team, you have leaders who are waving their guys in or holding it back, or you be pulling a guy aside. What are you going to do? A trigger finger, like pulling him aside? Like you need this to bring life. You do have to have gestures. That's why, like the whole thing, when you can't speak, you talk with your hands, right? So that's the whole thing right there. Good stuff right there. We got what did I say? Wolf spider. I must have said something else. But anybody, I always say wolf viper. I don't know why, but it's a wolf, obviously a wolf spider. Obviously, guys, come on, get with it. All right, enough of the chat. Okay, so Trouble Bubble.
I think people are trying to army build the wolf spider too, right?
Yeah, but the cool thing was, and I said this in my review, I said the cool thing is they gave it a character. So if you want to stick to their lore, you're saving yourself money. You're saving yourself money because they gave it Parth Vama. I don't know about you guys. Anybody out there in the chat or what you guys playing Starfield on Xbox?
No.
So I named my character Parth Vama. I said the ship that comes with it is like a wintry wolf like looking ship, and it has spider legs, So I was like Wolf Spider, and then I made him like an Indian dude, good looking Indian dude, and I gave him I gave him the yellow eyes that the Kamakura face sculpt has, and I'm gonna give him the green and yellow outfit and everything. So I already got the dude in the game, and he's not even out yet. Parth Bama on Starfield. So anyway, but yeah, you could army build him because he comes with the two face sculpts, and I actually prefer this one over the one I just showed you. I think this one, this like cyborg look technological this deep ops face sculpt is awesome. I think it's better than that other I mean, I'm saying as like a face plate, if you will, or a head strap. I think it's better than just the kind of the typical military Call of Duty one we got. All right, so this is cool. Shout out to MCU Collector. He did a
I
really
saw this
cool
today before we got on.
Yeah, good thing I had nothing to do today. I was just on social media, so I was like, I got all these updated images. But yeah, check it out. He mixed and matched all the different looks of the Valkyries. Of course, many of you have. What do you have the Valkyries, Boog?
No, not yet. I didn't get these yet.
But man, that is
Shout out to my man Dave VX. He had sent me a text a couple of days ago. He had like 8 packs of these.
Damn.
yeah, that's wild. I just went with the two, but I threw up a shot on Facebook of my troop collection, and a lot of people liked it because these two really pop with that, just with the different designs of the helmets and the tan. Actually, it's funny when the tan first got revealed. Remember, everyone thought it was gold, and gold was the major issue with classified when it, 3 or 4 years ago, when the COVID era, when they first everything was nerfed with gold. But it comes out tan, and I think the tan is striking when you mix and match.
Yeah, these look great.
Nice. Yeah, they do look great.
Yeah. And then, PulseCon. But before we move on to that, Boog, I'll ask you about G.I. Joe Classified. What's your favorite figure from Classified this year? And then what are you looking forward to getting your hands on from G.I. Joe?
I'm actually a little behind on a lot of classified stuff. And the stuff that I do have that's pretty recent, I haven't even opened yet. So I haven't even opened Scrap Iron. I'm looking forward to getting Snow Job next week. And then a lot of this more recent stuff, especially stuff that you were showing off here, I just don't have in hand yet. But yeah, I definitely want to grab a couple of these Valkyries. I definitely want to grab a couple Trouble Bubbles. But yeah, my favorite thing that I have from Classified so far this year, I don't know. That's a good question, bro. I still haven't even opened. I still haven't.
Did you get the eel?
No, I don't have eel. I'm super behind. And again, I'm trying to transition to really only collect Joes and Legends and just some selective imports here and there, whatever. So I will be backtracking to pick up a bunch of the more recent stuff. Eel. Yeah, that guy looks so great.
What are you dancing to? What is he dancing to?
He's shooting.
Oh, that's how you shoot? You jump in the air?
I do.
I love watching grown men play with their toys. And not that kind of toy. Get your head out of the gutter there, guys. But he says he loves Shipwreck and Rock and Roll. Yeah, I gotta agree with those, man.
You know, when I was a
Shipwreck
kid, Rock and Roll was one of my favorite versions. So that is one that I'm looking forward to. One of the ones I'm looking forward to the most is definitely Rock and Roll. I want to also get what's my man's name? What's this guy? He's in gray, not Lifeline. Is it Lifeline?
Is it Torpedo right here?
No. What gray with the goggles and the little beanie? What's his name?
Low Light.
Low Light. Yes, I'm looking forward to Low Light. I'm really looking forward to that. Sure.
Yeah.
See that? If you would, when I asked you which Joes you want to talk about, you said all of them. If you said Low Light, I'd have it here too. But it's in the case. I'm not gonna go get it. But yeah, anyway, Low Light. You guys have all seen it. It's Low Light is a dope one, and a lot of people are. I thought that was actually Apathy's. That was Apathy's favorite as well. So for the year, he was real excited. I mean, he didn't have it in hand yet, but he was real excited to get it as far as anticipating. But cool. And then we'll move on to PulseCon. So you got any predictions? I'll start with Boog first. Predictions for PulseCon as far as Marvel Legends or Joe's or just what you expect from either team?
Well, they've been spreading things out, and again, like I said, we still got 3 big events: PulseCon, Toy Fair, and New York Comic Con. So I think that Hasbro really wants to show out for their own event. So I do think we'll see something big from the X-Men, and then something big from to kind of really cap things off with this Avengers program. I think we might see another member of the astonishing X-Men crew from Legends. We got Emma and Cyclops in the Chad Build-A-Figure wave. So I think we'll see something from that, and then I think we'll see some other Avengers themed thing that we haven't seen previously. But it'll be quite a bit of reveals all around. It's Hasbro PulseCon, so we'll get something from Transformers. We'll clearly get some Star Wars things, some G.I. Joe things.
For sure. I wanna follow up real quick, because we spent, over an hour talking about Giant Man, but remember when we were talking about all those like stretch tiers that people wanted, do you think maybe we see some of that at PulseCon, or it's too early, or is it what do you think?
I think it might be a little too early for that. I don't know. The way I think that they've planned this out meticulously, I do think they probably have something for each one of these events if they needed to pull something out. But I don't know, the way the campaign is moving right now. I don't know that we would get any big reveals as far as like surprise tiers or anything like that until New York Comic Con, maybe.
Right. Because this kind of reminds me.
Ends basically.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. What did you just say?
No, I was saying right before it ends, basically, right before the campaign ends, basically.
Right. That makes sense. But I want one thing I had a thought earlier and it came up, but Bobby, I'll start with you. But see how with his tank, which we talked about a lot, the 788 fire team came with that, and then they that whole thing, and then what was it, the SMS, right? And then we got the, what was it, a Techno Viper? Someone help me out. I don't know. I'm losing. It's late. So he came with the SMS came with a character, and it was a different. I believe it was a Techno Viper that came with the 788 fire team colors instead of the original Viper. So there you go. Boom. And then Dragonfly, right? We got this. We got Homeboy, right? We got him. He's obviously everything Night Force has kind of seemed to go with that. Steel Core, they blatantly showed that to go with the Dragonfly. So it seems like there's themes, and I feel like Marvel is kind of the same way, and they may have started it with like the 60th anniversary, all their toys, and now you got the HasLab going in. So I'm wondering for either one of you, I'll start with Bobby. Will this continue with the HasLab? Like they set it up, but will they do like almost like a post game where there's going to be kind of like what we saw with Galactus, right? We saw figures, Fantastic Four and everything coming out afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they kind of set it up as a yes, because remember they said this, we got the 5th out of 7 pictures. We have 5 out of 7 pictures that have been released.
Yep. We ended up getting 7 though.
Did we get the final 2?
It was weird. It was weird how they did it, because you figured the 7th one would just be Giant Man, and they gave us 5, 6, and 7. So it was early in the show.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Hold
But
on,
that was
one time. Yeah, 5, 6, and 7, but 5.
That's 2, 3,
was
4,
yeah,
5, 6, 7. It was weird that they did that, because they only showed this in the video, and then they actually did show this in the video, but it went so quick. It was a minute, and so it was kind of like, whoa. So there's going to be a 6 and 7 after, and then 6 and 7 ended up just being Giant Man. It was 3, but maybe it's because of how big he is, and then those are the 3 different face sculpts. Look,
sure,
the 3
1,
different.
2,
So
3. Okay,
yeah, 5, 6, 7 are the 3 different face
Yeah.
sculpts. So that could be why they did it, giving you the 3 different.
fair. But going back to what Boog said, like yes, I think that they are going to follow up with Giant Man some way with the Avengers. Maybe some other ones that haven't been released yet, or a re-release of original Avenger. And yeah, I think that X-Men, because we got Astonishing Cyclops and White Queen in the Chode line. We also got oh god, Cyclops' dad. I can't think of his name right now.
Corsair.
Corsair. We got him. You know, we've gotten some Star Jammers. So and then we got Chamber with and Monet with Gen X. I would be very shocked if we don't get another Astonishing X-Men, finishing off X-Force with Feral sometime soon. Another Gen X reveal. I mean, there's a lot to do that Marvel can get done. Yes, Anthony, and remember the Chode is green, which I don't think that's very healthy in America and in Earth standards. But you know, green Chodes abound. But look, I think that Marvel Legends is in a way reinventing themselves right now. I think they kind of have to, because the MCU lines have been fine. The Across the Spider-Verse, amazing movie. Those figures looked fantastic, but you only got a figure and like a pair of hands. It looked for $25 now.
Yeah.
You know, look, and here's the thing. I don't want to set a precedent with this. However, like $27 and we got a shit ton with her.
Yep.
I don't see an issue. Holy shit, Lance in the chat. I don't see an issue.
He's stuck at the airport.
That's why he's bored. That's it. He's bored.
Yeah. Real bored.
I don't see why we can't get more bits and pieces with these figures for fine, $3 extra. Fine, fuck it, whatever. But give us more hands. Like that Black Widow came with like head sculpts, like guns, smoke. Give us something great. Fine. You want to do it like $27?
It's funny. No one complained about the price for Black Widow when it was more expensive than the other ones, because they actually gave us stuff with it.
But exactly. We got more with her.
Yep. But we did talk about that. Do you have any actually I'll go do you have any predictions for PulseCon real quick? Like for anything?
Like I said, they're gonna maybe some more Gen X, Astonishing X-Men, another anniversary, Avengers anniversary. Because this is it is the the X-Men 60th, so I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some more with them.
Double 60th,
yeah, it's the double 60th. Look, G.I. Joe will get some cool shit. No reasons buts, probably like pre-orders. And then Star Wars, I don't know. I don't know, because Lucasfilm, like the House of the Mouse is keeps saying he's close to the vest, and we'll probably see some figures from a project that was like 3 years ago. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's also a problem too. Is we talked about that on Ahsoka. We wish that we could have pre-ordered those figures 3-4 months ago, and you just put if you don't want a spoiler, you just put an image over it, and then it's a pre-order, so you could pre-order it, and then once it's revealed, if you don't like it, you can cancel. You know what I mean? At least so that way we have the figures coming in now, instead of waiting, like by the time we get them, there's another show that we care more about. But any last word on PulseCon, Boog, before we move on to our last segment?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what will come of it, and just looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't. I'm just rather be surprised at this point. And I mean, we know which teams, can do no wrong, and we know which ones are kind of handcuffed at the moment. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, the kind of the mood Marvel Legends. I mean, Dan, Ryan, and Dwight are always, good guys and always in the good mood, but based on maybe this HasLab success, and this is going to be, what is it? So the 9th today. So we got 2 weeks almost, and by then maybe it'll be funded, or at least damn close enough where they can make them push. And maybe Boog was right. Maybe they can give us a surprise third reveal then at PulseCon. Like, hey, maybe that's the thing. If it's not funded, PulseCon, you might get that third reveal, or maybe they'll show an assortment of figures that you can at least buy on Pulse that will go with it. Like, hey, you're only paying 200, but if you want to buy $100 worth of figures, you can buy them on Pulse. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If it's the HasLab is $299 with a bunch of figures, or it's $199 without the figures, but they show the figures separately, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But people are always gonna, you can give us enough, they can give it to you at PulseCon. You can buy it separately. You don't even have to buy them all. You can buy one, you can buy 3, 4. So I think that would be a good place to do it. As far as Joe's, they're kicking butt. I think, well, you know how their pattern works. It's in tiers. So they go render, grayscale render, where they actually like show you, and then they have it in hand, and then we start seeing like shooting the Galaxy stuff, and it's pre-order. I think the Dreadnoks are going to have to be next. Shockwave, some of the stuff from Comic-Con, we're going to see followed up here as a pre-order. So I think it was, did we even, we're going to probably get the price for the Vamp, $100. SMS, probably what, 60, 80? Sorry, I don't know. 60, I don't know. I don't think it'd be 100. It's not as big as the Vamp. So the Vamp with clutch will be $100, I think.
Yes,
that's right. They did show the renders for Buzzer and Ripper, right?
Yep, Buzzer and Ripper, and then they get a name-only reveal for Blowtorch. So then we'll probably see the render for Blowtorch. We'll see the render for Scarlet, Duke, the classic versions of those characters. What was another name-only reveal? I wish I remembered.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there will be name reveals too, man. That'll be maybe Quick Kick. We did get Jinx. That was a 4th one. Jinx was the name-only reveal. So Jinx, we'll see Buzzer, we'll see Ripper, and we'll see maybe Duke and Scarlet. I think those were the name-only reveals. So we'll see those as digital renders, and then we'll be able to pre-order the digital renders from last time, which were Buzzer, Ripper, Shockwave. Oh, Hawk.
Oh, that's right.
One of them.
That's right. Okay.
Come on, chat. Help me out with this stuff. This wasn't even prepared. I wasn't prepared. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's good. All right, last segment. It's getting late. You went and checked out the Tamashii Nations store in New York. I've been to the one in Tokyo. There's a bunch of them in Japan, right? There's a few of them there. So, what did you think of? You went to the store, and what did you think?
It was a nice little tiny cute store. It's not huge, but it was well stocked. It was well put together. Everything that was on display was posed nicely, and I'm looking forward to it being there and us being able to get imports at non-import prices here in New York City. It's like I said, it's a small store, so hopefully the rent is not crazy, even though it's in the middle of Times Square. And hopefully they'll be there for quite some time. The staff was nice; they were helpful. It was nice, man. It was really nice to have something like that, an actual brick and mortar that you can go into and get imports. So yeah, I was in and out. I was probably in there for maybe only 10 minutes or so. Picked up Goku and was out of there. But I will definitely be visiting again this week, maybe as early as tomorrow if they open on Sunday.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But yeah, it's I think it's going to be great for people in the 5 boroughs for sure.
For sure. No, that's tremendous. If I get back to New York anytime soon, this will be one of my destinations.
Yeah, you gotta visit. Like I said, it's smack dab in the middle of Times Square, so kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Hit up the Tamashii store and then see Times Square as well.
And you got that Misho Mandalorian. Is that the one that comes? It's the Wolf and Cub one with the cart, right? Or is that a new version?
I don't know if this is the one with the cart because they didn't have them displayed with the cart. It was only the figure when I was there.
Oh, that one. This one actually is the one with the armor. Then the other one was not the non-armor. Maybe I don't know. Someone can.
It's quite possible that they were still kind of running through the final showcase designs and stuff like that. Because I went the day that it opened. They were literally still kind of like restocking and stocking stuff, and like it didn't feel like it was the final form of the store. So it looks like they're gonna still be working some things out. So
Nice. Let's see. We just want to catch up with a couple of comments. I don't want to leave anyone hanging.
yeah, I saw them correcting us on chode, right? That's the proper way to.
Oh, that was yeah, I always say chode, and I'm always gonna forever say it because it's funny.
Is it chode or is it chod? I thought it was chod this whole entire time. It is chod.
I've always said chode, but that's also because it's hilarious to say chode.
Right.
Yeah.
I always thought that it was not right to say chode. It's like, I don't know.
Actually, I'm gonna put my homie on the spot right now. I'm thinking he's talking about Ant-Man. Okay, the price is great,
Yeah.
plus the articulation is amazing. Are you going halvesies on with it? So do I only have to pay $110 or am I buying this all for myself? You tell me. And then he says, we'll get the name or reveal of Road Pig. That's an amazing guess. Lenny has been hitting at Road Pig for years. That's a awesome. I think you're right on nail. Big Boa. I think we need Quick Kick before Big Boa, but Big Boa.
They actually did mention Big Boa, but Road Pig would be really dope.
Yeah, Big Boa. Was Big Boa a name only? I think he was.
I feel like
right?
it was a name only.
Yeah.
Oh, so we might actually get the render Big Boa. Okay, DJ 5Ash, thank you, and thank you, Boog. And then we got a super chat. Thanks, man. Jason has can't
What
wait.
you think they're gonna do? Interchangeable, already glove sculpted hands, or little rubber gloves to go over the hands? Like I feel like the old toy had the little rubber gloves to go over the hands, right?
I think you're right.
I had it as a kid, and I don't remember. I thought he just had some big ass boxing gloves, but I would say it would be MMA now. Like you would have 3 hand sculpts, 1 fist, one like a bloody fist hand. Like, 'cause remember, you know how they have the bare knuckle now, like that stupid bare knuckle league, which it's like MMA with bare knuckle.
Yeah.
A bloody fist would be dope. I know it's Hasbro, but it's G.I. Joe, and they can kind of like they don't have to make it grotesque, but you just put like a little bit of splatter on the blood. Like, oh, it could look like a tattoo. I could care less. Do the blood and then do a boxing glove and then do an MMA glove. You got to do MMA now. I mean, it's about you. It's UFC's just through the roof. I think that would be sick.
I think that's a good call to kind of modernize it. Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then, he says we're buying 2 to flip 1. Okay, that works for me.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Then I will probably get a free one. Man, that's good enough for me, man. It is 1:00 in the morning on the East Coast, so
it's midnight here.
It was a tremendous show. I do want to say I want this, and it's kind of dumb that they wouldn't. Some of the stuff that they showed on sale, this has been around, right? Is this all like stuff that's kind of been around? None of this is new?
This stuff has been around, but they did have the exclusives from San Diego Comic-Con that you could buy too, the DBZ exclusives. They did have that.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just did a few photos. I like cool. I used to love collecting Gundam. I had to sell them all. I just have too much stuff. But anyway, but this was an awesome show, and you got to find my dude. I mean, even when we can't see you, we could see you. You know what I'm saying? So that was just great. And yeah, every Wednesday and Friday, articulated comic book art. The only podcast maybe better than us, maybe as good as us. But yeah, no, I always like mess with these guys. They're fun. And shout out to Fabio. He made the connection. He's a part of the Toy Kind of Mood and ACBA.
Yes, sir.
So he was the plug that made it all happen. And now I'm glad it finally happened. You can also find Boog _ACBA on Instagram. And go do that now. And go subscribe to Articulated Comic Book Art. It's a good guys. I mean, I hung out with all of you. Most of you guys that made it to Comic-Con, and we had such a great time.
Such a great time. Yep. Literally broke bread, had dinner, and it was just great conversation, hanging out with you guys and with Jose and his brother. And yeah, man, that was great.
Yeah. Can't thank you enough. And it's kind of funny too, is like we've been trying to get you on the show forever, and then you do a show with us at like 4 a.m. But man, that's gonna be it. Any parting shots, Boog? Anything you want to say before we get going?
No, just thank you guys for having me on. Definitely got to have you guys on our show as well. Trav is actually going to appear on my channel very shortly, maybe this weekend. I had a quick bite with him from San Diego Comic-Con that I really wanted to release before I came on the show, but you'll see Trav on my channel in that capacity, and then hopefully we'll have Trav and Bobby on the show to come hang out with us. Maybe our holiday special would be a good time because that's when we normally have multiple guests on. So
I would recommend the Friday night because we obviously go on right
yes.
after you.
yeah.
You guys, what is the time you go on the East Coast on Wednesday?
On Wednesday, we try to go on at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we're supposed to be keeping the Wednesday show to a tight hour 15, hour and a half or something like that. But it doesn't always work out that way. You know how that goes.
Yeah. But that's because remember we were hanging out and I was like, "What time is your show?" And I said, "Yeah, when I get back, I'm changing that because I didn't like the overlap because I like to watch you guys." And then I'm like, "What if we cross over?" I mean, Fabio is part of our team, so to go against that, and then we're all friends, and it just didn't make any sense.
Right.
And I'm sure in the future we're gonna share some viewers and stuff, some fans. So it just made more sense to go later. Plus, I'm an AEW guy. I get to watch Dynamite now.
I
Go
see.
to go on. So
I think
that was the number one reason.
I think the way the schedules are right now in terms of everybody that's like podcasting and stuff like that, I think we all pretty cognizant of when each of us goes on and like things are like either overlap perfectly or they're spread out nicely in terms of where everybody is right now. So shout out to everybody doing their thing. There's room for everybody, so it's all good.
So David Speck says we have the copyright to Quick Bite. I was not aware of that. You just said Quick Bite, that I'm on a Quick Bite, but my channel has the copyright to Quick Bite. I don't know. I don't even know. We just did a segment called Quick Bites with our guy Dave, and now I'm on your Quick Bite. You know what? They can have a Quick Bite too. That's what I think. We both. Yep.
Nothing wrong with Quick Bites all around. It's all good.
There you go.
But yeah,
especially if that Quick Bite comes from Ant-Man, a deranged scout.
The last thing I was going to say is just plugging the ACBA Instagram. It's our feature page, and we just feature ACBA toy photography from artists all over the world. And on Instagram, that is at Articulated Comic Book Art. And again, thank you guys. Thank you. I'm holding my hands together in a praying pose right now, and just thanking you guys for having me on.
Thanks, man. I'm trying to pull up that one right now. Let's see if I can do it in 5 seconds or less. I think I got it. Make sure it's like something you guys can see. And here we go.
As we wait.
Is this it?
There we go. Yep. So that's our feature page, which features a lot of shots from within our Facebook group, but we also do source stuff from artists on Instagram as well. So you can tag us, hashtag ACBA or hashtag Articulated Comic Book Art on Instagram. We'll find your stuff and feature it. We feature everything, Joe's, Kaiju, Marvel Legends, a little bit of everything.
There's a ton of rats.
Ton of rats. Shout out to my man Patrick. Patrick Home Dials is who took that shot. I don't know if you know Megatron, but he's another great Joe photographer. His is the
is this Izil?
That's Greg Shaw actually at Tor Nerd, but the other one to the right is Megatron. He does a lot of great Joe photography as well too.
That's nice. Awesome. I'm gonna have to follow all of these accounts if I
if you just want to geek out and just see a bunch of great toy photography, it's just a way to just kind of scroll and just see a bunch of people and give them a follow for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's going on. Cool, man.
All right.
Well, you guys have a great night, and everyone else. A Toy Kind of Mood at Night. Episode 13. It's been the New York Giant with the New York Giant himself, Boog, ACBA, and the co-host with the mostest, Bobby Behar. We'll see you in the toy aisle, and we'll see you on Wednesday after ACBA. Bye.
Peace. Bye.